Anthony Harwig here with a Liberty Volleyball Coach's Corner and a season preview with Kelly Barley. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and talking about your team for a little bit.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
I want to start with kind of a meet the team segment, introduce us to your roster, the big names that are going to be helping your guys, get to where you want to be, and some of the new faces the Liberty fans should be aware of too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, starting with our seniors, we have Lexi Muck. She's a really big name, especially from last year winning that YSM Big Dog of the Year. She's going to play a huge factor for us, being our middle hitter and someone that we rely on to get the kill that we need and the block that we need. She'll be stepping up a little bit more this year, as she's probably going to play a little bit of back row to help generate some offense as well. Senior Mia Parker is staying at setter again this year. We're also looking for her to be also a hitter. We're running a 5-1 with her, but we are looking for her to get some hits with being a left-handed setter. That's a big weapon that we're very lucky to have from her. So we're also looking for her to have a great season, and she's been working all off season to just improve her game and get better, and it's really showing. We have senior Meadow Smith, who's stepping up to be our libero this year as well. She's been working all off season to increase her play and be ready to step up into the libero position. As far as juniors, Chloe Fleps is returning to us as well. She saw a little bit of varsity time last year, and she's one incredible athlete. She's going to be a very good defensive specialist with us, but she's also going to take some of the setting role as well when Mia is passing. We also have returning Trinity Patterson, who's a junior. She's an outside hitter. She's staying where she's at. Sarah Horn is a varsity newcomer. She'll be filling the role actually as an outside hitter, but also playing in the back row. Unfortunately, Brianna Dorenzis had a season-ending injury, so Sarah is doing a fantastic job of stepping up to take the role of Bree. And then some varsity newcomers as sophomores is Zoe Bank. She's been once again working incredibly hard in the offseason to just get her passing down, and she's an incredible DS for us. And then Amira Smith is going to fill the role, the other middle hitter, and be a great middle blocker for us as well.
When you talk about Lexi Muck, that's the one that the biggest name on your team. Obviously, last year winning that Big Dog of the Year on YSN. The big thing about that is your fans step up. I mean, she had to win 3 separate fan votes to win that Big Dog of the Year. What does it mean to you to see a volleyball program get so much support out of the community? And whether it be her voting for Big Dog or also the fans that show up to your games, you guys get a lot of support from this Liberty school system.
Yeah, it's great to have that exposure because I feel like a lot of people sometimes don't put Liberty on the map anywhere. So we're glad that Lexi was able to win that. And we have a great fan base behind us. I know that all of us coaches in the program, our families are behind us as well. And Lexi deserved that. So any votes that she got outside of just our Liberty fan base was very well earned. She had a fantastic junior season, and hopefully she can win it again this year.
She was by far the highest voted volleyball player in the season, so she earned that absolutely, and we're happy that she's able to come back. And who knows, maybe she'll win Big Dog of the Year for 2 years in a row. Coach, let's talk about your schedule and start with your conference. Obviously, you play in a very tough MVAC grade tier with a lot of big name teams. Crestview being at the top of that list. A lot of people think they're the best team in the area, hands down, across all divisions. But you also got Garfield in there, Brookfield with a new head coach, a lot of good quality teams. What's it like playing in this conference, and what are you expecting out of it this year?
It's kind of an honor to play in this conference. I mean, obviously, you mentioned how Crestview is such a really good program, and they deserve everything that they've earned. But as our conference is so tough, and it's great to see how tough our conference is. I mean, outside of Crestview and Garfield, we went 5 sets with every single other team in our conference last year. So it's great to see that our conference is just getting better and better every year. And it's great to have that competitiveness with everyone in the conference. Girls are getting better. And as a coach, you love to see it. I mean, the nights are long when you're playing constantly 5 sets or going into any extra sets. But you love it because the competition is there and it just gets you ready for the district tournament. And it shows that our conference is very well rounded because half of our teams made it a very long distance last year.
Outside of every team's goal winning the conference, outside of that goal, what are some things that you want to get out of conference play and you want to see your girls do every time they play a conference opponent?
I want to see them just step up to the challenge. Again, I feel like last year, a lot of teams were looking us to not come in as strong as we put out there, just because we did lose 4 all-around seniors. And that's extremely hard to fill that void of those players. But again, last year we did a great job of just stepping up to the competition. And that's what I'm looking for the girls to do this year, is just stepping up in conference play and proving a point that we're not just going to back down from anyone. And it proved last year, and hopefully this year again we can do that without going so many 5 sets. But we just want to, as far as goals, is be competitive, but also have a better conference record.
You guys were like 5-set machines last year.
We were.
It must have been a nail biting experience for a coach for sure.
Yes.
Non-conference matchups are just as important. They really make you stronger and get you prepared for the tournament. What kind of non-conference scheduling do you have? What teams are you really excited to play this year outside of the MVAC?
We opened up the season with Warren JFK, and I know they got a good program over there, so it's going to be exciting to have a test right out the gate. We also play Springfield again, which last year we had a great matchup with them. We were dead even with them, and I'm looking forward to that game as well. We also play Western Reserve, who we've played for the last 2 years, and each time we've just gotten better against them. And again, they have a great program over there, so it's exciting to play against tough teams like that. We also play Cardamone again, which was an incredible match last year. I felt like that we played a better game, but we just couldn't close it out. So I'm excited for the girls to get another crack at them and hopefully pull through on that one. And then we play also teams like East, Cheney, Lowellville this year. And then we're actually traveling all the way up to Cleveland to play Villa Angela St. Joe's. So we're exploring kind of a little bit outside of the area a little bit to go play some other teams. But out of conference play, like I said, is just as important too, to get better and see what the competition's like.
Let's also talk about these in the last couple of weeks of preseason. You have a couple of weeks left. Actually, now it's closer to a week actually, but to just fine tune some things, get some more scrimmages under your belt, and get you as ready as possible for Game 1. What things do you want to see out of your team here in the next week and a half before Game 1 is upon us?
We actually had a scrimmage last night against Grand Valley, who's always good. Heartland Christian's always good. And so is South Range. And I saw a lot of good things, but there's a lot of things to tweak as well. I just want my team to definitely improve in the defensive side. We may not have the best offensive weapons in the area, but I want my girls to just really fine tune their defense that they bring to the table. Again, Lexi is a really strong hitter, and it's going to be great to have her as an offensive weapon. But I always tell the girls not one person can define a team. So we have to really key in on our defense and get better in that aspect. And then also working on in scrimmages, closing out some of our games. We had a really difficult time with that last year, where we may be up in a 5th set or we'll be up 2-0, and we just let the game slip through our hands. So we need to work on finishing out a game and just being more focused in on our goals that we set for each and every single game, but also the season.
One of the things that I saw from your team last year throughout the season is as you developed was there's such an increase in volleyball IQ. So I'm wondering what you and the coaching staff try to do to really get the girls to understand the game more and to not just be the great athletes they are, but that they go out there and understand why they're doing things and understand the strategy of the game. What kind of things do you do to do that?
Yeah, I try to teach them a lot of tendencies throughout a game. So reading what a hitter's going to do, especially on the service line too, like knowing the tendencies of a server. Is she going to serve short? Is she going to serve long? Is she going to key for a couple of our passers that may have been having a tough go around for a game? But it's learning that tendencies and really just having a feeling. I try to really educate the girls on have a feeling of what that hitter, what that setter, what they're going to do on the other side, and anticipate it and know before the play actually happens. And I feel like a lot of the times too, I've had that tendency, and even when I played, like I always had just that feeling of what's going to happen before the play actually happens. And it's great to educate the girls on my past experiences and letting them know now.
That doesn't come from nowhere. Who are the people that are most responsible for giving you your volleyball IQ and being, putting you in the position to be able to tell them those things?
Yeah, so I actually graduated from Salem High School in 2015. So I was very blessed to be a part of that Salem volleyball program that was coached under Don Concert. Even though he retired from Salem after my freshman year, we still carried on his legacy until the year I graduated. He's a huge name in the volleyball world, and it was great to be coached by him and learn a lot from him and learn from all the coaches there. And the program speaks for itself. I mean, when you're a seventh grader like I was and you have Amy Scullion as a senior, you learn so much from her just even then. So it was great to come through that program and learn as much as I can. And then I was very fortunate enough to come back and coach the 8th grade Salem volleyball team a few years ago. And I got to be under Sarah Hamilton Phillips. And I got to learn a lot from her on just how to build a good team, how to develop girls from the start of 4th grade on, and really build a good team culture in a program.
Every year high school coaches have to make that decision on whether or not to come back and whether or not they want to put in that time again and again every year. What made that decision easy for you to come back and keep doing this coaching thing and keep working with these kids?
I think there's just a special group at Liberty. The girls are dedicated. They want to work hard. And I think it was just that point that we want to do something. We don't want, again, Liberty just to be that school where everyone comes in and thinks that they're just going to beat us. We want it to be a long night for a team, and we want to just do well and prove points. And I love instilling that in girls. And that's really my drive to come back, is to instill in girls that no matter what happens every night, as long as you go out there and you prove a point, whether we win or lose, that's the greatest gift you can have. And that's something you can take away at the end of the night. But yeah, I just love coaching the game. I love teaching girls new skills. And I just love girls who didn't think they could do something and they end up doing it.
I want to give you the chance to also highlight your coaching staff and the people that are so intricate into making this Liberty volleyball program what it does. Because we know coaches get the interviews and they get the name and the limelight, but you don't do it by yourself. So who are the people behind the scenes that really help you make this volleyball program as good as it is?
Yeah, so I have as my assistant / JV coach is Nicolette Furketic. Her husband is Josh Furketic, who is one of the news anchors at WKBN. So it's great having her by my side. She's I call her my calming person that I need. She's great because we talk about a lot throughout practices and scrimmages and games. And her and I are on the same page about a lot of things. We really like to be defensively minded. So it's great to have someone who wants to be a defensive team as well. And then you got Tara Williams, who's an assistant coach. She actually graduated from Ursuline High School. So it's great to have her to come over and teach the young girls. And she's a huge relator for the girls. So she's that coach who any of the girls, if they're just struggling, having a day, and they maybe don't want to talk to the head coach, she's there to be that bridge for them and someone to talk to. And she pushes the girl as well. She's actually been in the program longer than I have. So it's great to have her, who's been with Liberty probably 5 years now. So it's great to have her who just knows the Liberty way and is able to talk to the girls and be someone there for them when they need it. As far as my junior high staff right now, I just got Alana Landers. She is a fantastic middle junior high coach. She's, again, wants a good relator to the girls, but she also pushes the girls to what we need. And she buys into what we sell up in the high school program. So that way, when the junior high kids become high school kids, they don't have such a shell shock. They know what we expect from the day they walk in.
We talked about your great fan base. Give them a shout out and when they can come and see Liberty for the first time this year.
Absolutely. So again, we open up with Warren JFK at home on August 21st. So JV will start at 5:30 and the varsity will follow.
No excuses, Liberty fans. You just heard it. You know where to go, where to be, and get out there and support the Leopards this year. Coach, we thank you so much for taking the time to come on, give us a solid preview of your team. We wish you the best of luck this year, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you so much for having me.